Wilson from Magnify Your Essence, and we are here today with Asha Moloch, author of Gaining Strength Through Weakness, from weakness. But today we're here with the Survivors with Voices monthly meeting, and it's our topic this month is on rejection and how to become rejection proof. So let me just get started. We are not in our normal space. I went to my original location to get greeted with a big old sign saying that the library was closed. So what would you do if you were me when you have stuff? Sometimes, so I was being rejected, right? The whole meeting, everything was being rejected. But you have to have something inside of you that says, you know what, forget it, keep it moving, and that's what we're going to do. So I found another location. Yes, I did. We are at another library. We're at the Holmesboro Library. Thank you. Big shout out to them. Thank you for allowing us to use their space. So now we have to be creative. It's like, okay, we're here. Show must go on. So guess what? Y'all going to see what you missed. So this is what we're going to do. So, but Survivors with Voices actually comes from a young lady out in Texas. Her name is Alyssa Jones. Wonderful, wonderful organization. And it's about all kinds of survivors. Survivors of child abuse from domestic violence, from lupus, from HIV, any type of health ailment, anything that you survive, we all have the same thing we go through. We still have to get through life. We still feel like we're rejected. We still feel like we have to overcome something. So this is what we do when we come together.
We all went through some type of trauma.
We all went through some type of trauma, exactly. So this is what this is about. We meet every month, and we meet throughout the country. So here in Philadelphia, I'm a chapter president in Philadelphia. There's also one in Texas, Houston, Texas. There's also one in Columbus, Ohio. There's also a chapter down in Atlanta, Georgia, and also a chapter in Newport News, Hampton Roads, Virginia. So this is what we're doing because we need to reach the masses. So that's that spiel. And then of course, with my Magnify Your Essence, just increasing who you are, knowing who you are as a person, irregardless of what you've been through. We all can overcome something, and I know I have. So I want to there's a video that we would have showed, and actually you can go on YouTube and look for it. If you just look up Overcoming Rejection and Becoming Rejection Proof by Lou Hughes. He's actually our leaderologist. He actually puts together the videos, and it was a worksheet that we had to do today for us to kind of think through different ways we can overcome being rejection proof, or how we can overcome rejection. So I'm trying to look at some of the questions. So one of the things I'll just go over with you real quick. There's one, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Someone rejects you. I didn't take it personal when I went to the library and the door was shut on me. Well, no, I did for a second. But other than that, you move on. Talk to someone. Talk to someone whenever you feel like you're being rejected. And then you got to do something. So what did I do? I did something. I found another location, and we're still making it happen. And although no one came, because it's just us sitting here, it's like, you know what? It don't stop anything. We're going to still do this. So I got my computer. Let's rock. So, hey, like I said, and if you saw the live video, it says, when life gives you lemons, you make some serious lemonade. And that's what we did. So what I'm going to do is now turn it over to Asha, who will then, share her story with us, because she's our testimonial speaker for the month on how she became rejection proof. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Asha. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. I am Asha Moloch. I am a woman who has been living with HIV for 15, going on 16 years, since I was 51. When Carolyn first asked me to be the speaker on rejection, I was thinking, I have to relate it to HIV-related stigma and discrimination and criminalization, because it all intersects with being rejected.
Right.
And I also looked up the word rejection, because I like to look up and find like the Latin term or the root word for it. And the Latin word for rejection is to throw back. So I started thinking about that. It's like when you're looking for something and you pick it up and it's not what you wanted and it's not perfect, you throw it back and you keep looking. So throwback. And that was kind of deep when you think about that. When you think about all the throwbacks from society and how people judge people, how they have negative attitudes and how they have negative opinions about people. And so, rejection is what it is. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about HIV related stigma, because the stigma that people experience living with HIV, the rejection and discrimination are the reasons why people do not want to disclose their status. When I say HIV related stigma, I'm talking about people having fears about people that's living with HIV. They have negative attitudes. They have negative viewpoints. They believe a lot of myths and things that are not based in science. And people who are living with HIV have been insulted. They have been murdered, especially women have been murdered after disclosing their status. They have been gossiped about and excluded from social institutions and activities. So those are all forms of rejection. It's like, and we experience rejection on an individual level and on a society level. Okay, and when I say HIV criminalization, okay, these are the reasons why people do not want to disclose their status. HIV criminalization are laws that are on the books in 33 to 34 states in the United States and some of the territories of the United States. And these laws are not based on science. They're based on myths. They're based on fears. And they are very old laws that have been on the books from the beginning of the epidemic. And in these states, you can be prosecuted if you do not disclose your HIV status to your partner. And so what gets kind of sticky about these laws is that it doesn't matter if you have if your viral load is suppressed. That means your viral load is to the point where it cannot be picked up on a viral load test. So that makes you less able to transmit the virus to someone. So if your viral load is undetectable, if the partner knew that you were HIV positive, even if you use a condom, it doesn't matter. These laws will prosecute you on the possibility of spreading the virus onto someone. So HIV criminalization laws will prevent people from telling their status. Of course, they do not want to be rejected. Okay.
So how does that, with knowing it, so it's real important to have the statistics and know all the information that you should. That's educating yourself. But I also know you have your own blog to educate a woman.
Right.
So with that, how does that allow you to become rejection proof? Because you know your status, you know what you can, what it does and what it doesn't do. Even though other people may reject you, but you had to find something in yourself to be rejection proof.
Well, yeah, well, it took a long time because what happens is that you self-stigmatize yourself and you believe and you buy into and you believe what society thinks about people that are living with HIV. So what I had to do was talk to myself. I had to talk to myself. And I did that through writing affirmations.
Okay.
And I wrote them down on the post-them sticky papers.
Right.
And I stuck it all up on my mirror and every morning.
Kind of like finding Mary Jane.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're beautiful, you're valuable, you are worth more than your weight in gold. And just write these things. And so what I eventually did was put it in a book. And it's called Gaining Strength from Weakness, 101 Positive Thoughts for HIV Positive People. And it actually helped me out a lot because I hadn't disclosed my status to a lot of people. Right. So I actually was trying to boost up my self-esteem, my self-esteem, my confidence, to know that I am valuable. And I always knew that since I had a undetectable viral load, I knew I wasn't contagious. Quote, contagious.
Right.
I wasn't infectious. Quote, infection. So I knew that that wasn't me. So that helped to actually build up my confidence. Okay. And so when you want to talk about rejection, I want to tell something that happened to me during the week.
Okay.
I had a court case this week for an accident case, which I lost.
What about rejection?
Which I lost. The lawyer for the opposing insurance company, she actually tried to knock me down. I think she kind of bullied me too. She did. She was telling the jurors, she didn't hurt herself. She's not hurt because she's wearing high heels. I'm like, high heels? I had flats on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell. She don't wear.
I don't wear high heels.
I do.
And she said, she's carrying a great big pocketbook. Like, I don't have a big pocketbook. I had just half the size of that one there. And she just kept saying things, and actually, I kind of laughed at her because I didn't realize at that time that I was rejection proof. It didn't matter what you said to me. It didn't matter what you said about me because I had been through enough rejection to see that I was rejection proof.
Right.
That's probably why I lost the case, because I laughed at her. And so, she just kept saying these things to the jury. So they rejected everything that I said about how I was feeling, how my back was hurting me, how it affected my life. They also rejected what my attorney said.
Okay.
They rejected what my doctor said, my doctor's report, and the videos from my doctor, and they accepted what the other lawyer said. So I lost the case. So after the trial was over, my attorney looked at me. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Well, you did the best you could. I think you did an awesome job." I said, "I'm fine." And he would say, "You are?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm blessed. You know what? I look at what I have and not what I don't have."
That's a hashtag.
Right. And I said, I'm looking at how blessed I am, because I'm thinking I could have been shot up in a club somewhere. Or as much as I travel, my plane could have went down. But I'm blessed and I'm all right. So he said, well, that's a nice, positive attitude for you to take. So when you're rejection proof, it's nothing anybody can say or do to you.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, it's nothing they can say or do.
You're right.
So I'm feeling good. A little extra money would help, but I'm fine. So I had to stop and think. I'm like, what is it about being rejected? It could be on a personal level, a relationship, a job, or anything. What is it about rejection that we think that we need to have from that person or that situation that we don't already have?
That's a thought.
What is it that we need?
That's a thought.
Okay? So I want to tell you a little bit about being rejected on a personal level.
Okay.
One of the reasons why people that's living with HIV do not like to disclose their status or fearful of disclosing their status is that they may get rejected in a personal relationship. And it's very hard to date living with HIV because of the stigma, of the fear, of the myths. And of course people don't know that there's things like PrEP that the other partner that's negative that can take that will prevent the virus from being transmitted to them. They don't know that a person that has a zero viral load or an undetectable viral load cannot transmit the virus to anybody. People don't know that, but they just are afraid of you because you have the virus. Okay, in my upcoming book, The Underground Woman, from Prisoner to Freedom. Okay. I was a prisoner of my own insecurities and fears. Until I took a path and I became free. I met this guy. I liked him a lot. We had a lot of shared interests together. We both did yoga. We were both vegan. We liked to swim. We both did martial arts. We liked to play chess. And so, while talking with him, he told me that the previous woman that he was seeing, he took her out on a couple of dates, and she told him, eventually told him that she was living with HIV. And he said to me, he didn't know anything about my status. I didn't tell him that. He said to me, "Oh, I wish she had told me that sooner. I spent a lot of money taking her out." And I looked and I was like, "Oh my gosh, now I know how he feels, you know."
Exactly.
So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it won't matter, you know. Maybe he'll like me and it won't matter. So I did disclose to him, and I'd like to read a little bit from it.
Okay.
Is that possible? Sure. Okay. All right. Now, his name was David. Of course, I had to change the name. Um, okay. He came over my house, right, so we could play chess. The doorbell rang, and I opened the door to see David standing on my steps, appearing younger than his 50-something years. He had on a brand new white t-shirt, brown cotton shorts, and a matching cap. New white sneakers. I could tell he cared about his appearance. How cute and adorable, I thought. We could have been good together with all that shared interest in chemistry. I was a little nervous because I knew what I had to do. But somehow I thought that after David spent an evening with the charming, sexy, witty, smart, and chess playing me, that my status would not make a difference to him. He would see how wonderful I was. In other words, I was trying to prove to this man that I was good and worthy enough for him, but he had proven nothing to me. Okay, so what happened after that is that I did tell him about my status. I told him about my status. He said to me, well, we can have a platonic relationship, and I still want to be your friend, and I want to take you out sometime. I'm like, okay, I was all right with that. So what I did was, I told him I was going to do a vegan cookout. Okay. So he was supposed to come to the cookout. I went and bought all this stuff for the cookout, and he never showed up. And so I called him a few times. He never answered the phone. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, what's going on? So I said, let me send him an email because he wasn't answering my phone. Okay. So after I sent the email, it was empowering to me. I'm going to read this to you, and then I can stop there. Okay. I was hurt. I felt rejected. Right. I didn't know how to handle it because it was the first person or the first relationship after I had separated with my husband. So it was the first time I had disclosed to anybody outside of a few family members that knew. So I was really hurt. So in this email, I said, greetings, David. Hope all is well and peaceful with you. This is not an angry woman email. This is an email of understanding and gratitude. And there's no need for you to respond to this email because this message is basically for my own healing and closure. I completely understand if you can't deal with me because I have HIV. That is your choice. And the reason why I disclosed was because you have the right to make that choice. However, you don't have the right to disregard, disrespect, and disappoint me just because I have HIV. And I'm upset with the way you handled the situation. When I first disclosed to you, you made it plain to me that we could only have a platonic relationship, and I was cool with that. I was not confused. Just happy to have made a friend to talk to, whom I did not have to hide my status. I didn't expect anything from you other than your friendship. You were the one confused and sending me mixed messages when you could not keep your hand off me every time you saw me. You read about that when you read the book, okay?
I gotta read the book.
You gotta read the book, yeah.
Okay.
I did not appreciate the high school stand-em-up method you took when you did not show up for the cookout. I put a lot of time, energy, money, and care in trying to do something nice for you. I thought that was a juvenile approach for a 50-something-year-old man to take. You could have just come to me and let me know how you were feeling. After all, I was brave enough and woman enough to tell you face to face about my HIV status. That was not an easy thing for me to do, and I took a great risk in doing so. But I do understand that you may have lacked the courage and bravery to dump me to my face, and I forgive you for that. The positive side of the situation is that I am grateful that you came into my life because you helped me to learn something about myself. I learned that I am so much stronger than I thought. You were the first person I disclosed to outside of a few family members. I learned a lot about how to disclose and that I can handle rejection without falling apart. You also brought up feelings in me that I thought were dead. You made me feel sexy and wanted. So, thank you for making me a stronger, more vivacious woman for myself and for the next man that comes into my life. I wish you happiness and blessings in finding the perfect woman for you. Sincerely and in peace, Asha. Click, send, there it's done. Wow, I feel empowered.
Wow. Yes, yes. For a few little people that are here, yes.
So
yes.
I want to tell you that I felt empowered, but it still hurt a little bit.
Right.
Because rejection stings like a bee. But I made myself some anti-sting cream.
Love
Want to know the recipe?
Okay.
Now this is my recipe.
You need to know this recipe.
But you can make your own, whatever you want to put in
Okay.
it. Here's my anti-sting cream. I put 1 cup of self-love, 1 cup of self-care, 1 cup of self-worth, 1 cup of supportive friends and family. Mix well, stir in 1 cup of confidence, sprinkle in a little advocacy, and rub it on rejection every day until the sting goes away and the healing has begun. So before I end, I also like to look up quotes. I'm going to leave you with this quote.
Okay.
And it's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "Do not waste yourself in rejection. Do not bark against the bad, but chant the beauty of the good."
Boom. That's a drop the mic moment, y'all. Oh my gosh. That is so empowering. And you know what? I'm kind of glad. You know what? Things happen for a reason. So somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to really take that recipe and apply it to themselves. So there's a reason why everything got turned around.
Yeah.
And we're recording this.
Right.
Because that is powerful. And this will be on my YouTube channel. This will be on Facebook. This will be everywhere. Because somebody needed to hear that.
Right.
Because I don't know if you picked, there was so many different things that Asha shared with us about being rejection proof. You know, it all has to do with your self-confidence, your self-worth. And a lot of times when you don't know that, you don't know, then you will stand for anything. And you'll let anything impact you and affect you. And I kind of like our little balloons behind us. It's making me happy. It's making me happy. But I was like, But that kind of goes to with my cause too, with Magnify Your Essence, because you know, and when you said Ralph, I was like, you about to steal my quote, because my quote is from Ralph Ellison.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my quote is from Ralph Ellison, and that when I discover who I am, I will be free, free like these balloons to just soar, to just fly. So when that occurs, and then you become fearless. You know, that's me. I'm fearless. I don this little bracelet every day. If you can see, it says fearless and dream, because I live fearless dreams. There's nothing that can hold me back. Hence why we're still having this. Even though there's only a sprinkle full of people. But there's going to be millions that's going to watch this and it's going to be empowered by this message. So there's a reason for everything. And I'm so glad that this idea popped into my head, because when you allow rejection and fear to take over, then you just stop.
You can't grow.
You can't grow. So, and I posted earlier, when you overcome all different things, especially rejection, you become unstoppable. And that's proof here today. And that's proof by your message. And, that was so empowering, that email that you sent, because there's so much that she learned from that. We can get rejected, right?
Yeah.
We can have bad moments, but what do we take from that? And you took from that, that's very similar to something that I have to share too a little later. But it was so empowering for yourself, because she knew, that, wait a minute, I am who I am. And I have a lot to offer, and someone will love me and accept me for who I am. It's just not you.
That's right.
But you made me open to it. So that's I love it. I love it. I love it. But I want to leave you with 5 things that Alyssa wants us to leave with. And I gotta, kind of tie this in here too. So she said there's 5 ways that you could mentally strong people, and see, and that's the key. Mentally strong. Mentally strong. How do you do that? Affirmations, positive self-talk. Talk to yourself. Enjoy, love yourself. It's about you. Because I had to do that with me. It was about me. It was not in a selfish way, but it was all about me. Because if I wasn't good for me, I was no good for anyone else. No one else. I wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be here talking. So, but acknowledge your emotions. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel disappointed.
It's okay to be hurt.
It's okay to be hurt, right? But recognize it. Recognize where it came from and what the issues that brought you to that feeling, and then just move on from it. Don't dwell in it. Don't dwell in it. So I always have this analogy about water. I'm kind of like moving water that flows. If you think about it, water that sits, what happens to water that sits?
It's stagnant.
It gets stagnant, and mosquitoes and all kinds. It doesn't grow, and eventually it dies. It evaporates. That's not me. I'm water that just constantly flows, and it starts off as a little stream, and then it trickles, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually it becomes a lake, then a river, then an ocean. Hey, water is the limit. Can't say the sky's the limit, but the water is the limit for me. So then we have number 2. They view rejection as evidence that they're pushing their limits. Would you agree with that? That they're pushing their limits. So mentally strong people know that rejection serves as proof that they're living life to their fullest, because you can handle it.
Right.
You can handle it. It'll just bounce right off of you. You can handle, like you talked about with your case.
Yeah.
And they couldn't understand, like, you just lost. Do you realize you just lost? She's like, not really, because I know the real deal. So, and they treat themselves with compassion, loving yourself, loving yourself. And they refuse to let rejection define them.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. You know why? Because rejection, when somebody rejects you, they're only rejecting a part of you.
Yes.
That's not the whole you.
Yes.
That's not the total you.
It's like that. You ever hear about that iceberg effect? Like, people just see what's at the tip. But an iceberg, this is the waterline. That's what you see. You don't see it. All that's behind, underneath, all that stuff, that value that we have. But people don't see that. And you don't let it define you. And they learn from their rejection. Boom. Learn from your rejection. I know I have.
I have too.
Yeah.
You actually take a look at yourself.
Yeah.
You take a good look at yourself, and you realize that like I said, it's only a part of you that's being rejected.
Right.
So,
right.
He actually didn't reject me. He rejected the HIV.
That was
right.
But that wasn't me. He missed out on all of you.
That's right. He did.
All of you. So just hold that little nugget. That when someone is rejecting you, whether it be like you said, personal, whether it be based on your situation, whether it's at work, whatever the case may be, it's just that situation.
That's right.
It's not all of you. It doesn't define you, and it doesn't mean that that's who you are or what you represent, because deep down inside, And sometimes it might take that rejection to help you catapult yourself to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure, Asha wrote this book and she's in the process of writing this other book. It had to come from somewhere. It had to come from somewhere that pushed her beyond her limits in order to tell her story. And I'm really just thankful that you came today to be, because
you invited me.
Yeah, because this was perfect, with the rejection proof, and I know some of your story, and this was good. So even though I kept getting rejected when I asked people, but that's okay. I was prepared to do this by myself. But hey, that's what happens. The show goes on. The show goes on. See, that's where the fearless part comes in. And people may not understand it, but trust me, when you get to this level of confidence, when you get to this level of I can do, there's nothing that can stop you. Literally. Even when you get a sign that says the library's closed. Just get it. But I'm really this actually turned out pretty well. It turned out the way it was supposed to be. So thank you. I appreciate all of you who took the time to watch. So if you want to reach out to me, my name is Carolyn Wilson. You can find me at Magnify Your Essence at yahoo.com. That's my email. My website or my blog is magnifyyouressence.wordpress.com. If you want to find out more about Survivors with Voices, you can go to survivorswithvoices.org. There's also a conference that's coming up in September, removing. So you might want to come and check that out because it's a very powerful conference. I went last year. So that'll be coming up in September. And then Asha, please tell them how they can reach you, find your book that's out now.
Okay, I have a author Facebook page. It's called Asha Moloch. You can also email me at educateawoman@gmail.com. I'm also a member of Positive Women's Network. That's the advocacy group that actually helped me out a lot. So you can go to www.pwn-usa.org to find out about Positive Women's Network.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again. Like us both on Facebook, like Magnify Your Essence, like Survivors of Voices, like Asha Moloch, like Educate a Woman. Just stay empowered and be rejection proof. All right? Love you. Peace out.